Hey everyone, welcome back to another one of the character stories that we'll be covering, and today we're going to be covering Tirpitz. So I've been told some interesting things about this one, so we'll go ahead and see what this one is about. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on in. Alright, I have no idea how to pronounce that. Schmelzen? I don't know, I'm going to probably butcher that. Anyway, chapter 1, the secretary ship. My sister, I'm sorry. I hope you'll forgive me for what I did. Bismarck, what'd you do? That dream again. How many times does that make it? Now is not the time to be sentimental. The commander still hasn't arrived. Perhaps I should start with work that even a secretary could take care of. First would be the reports entrusted to me, and when I arrived at the office, my secretary, Tirpitz, had already begun her duties. Well, that's good of her. Good morning, Commander. You've arrived. Perfect timing. Please check today's tasks and schedule. If there are any problems, I will fix them. Receive the documents. Okay, thank you. Anyway. Also, I've dealt with some of the work regarding fleet operations that you gave me yesterday. Come to think of it, the stack of papers that was piled up neatly on the desk is... I'm guessing she did a lot of work. Oh, hey, good on her. Quite the diligent worker, I guess. Thank Tirpitz. There's no reason to thank me for something this insignificant. I'm only doing what's expected of me as the secretary. Well, I mean, from what it sounds like, you did a lot of work if we're able to comment about how that stack of papers is, I guess, gone now. Anyway, Tirpitz returned to work. As expected of the exemplar... I don't know why I always struggle with that word for some reason. Anyway, expected of the exemplarship of the Iron Blood, there's really nothing to criticize about her work. But why do I somewhat feel like I'm being kept at an arm's distance? She always did, I mean, that is kind of how she is, I guess? I mean, there's a reason she's got the nickname Lone Queen of the North. She's kind of used to it, I guess. I don't know, well, okay, I say used to it, but I don't think she really is. I don't think Tirpitz is really the type of character that gets used to being by herself for, yeah. I think there's actually some dialogue where they actually talk about that too. I think it's in, Aurora Noctis, where Graf Spee and Tirpitz talk about that a little bit. I guess she would come off kind of cold, being so isolated for, as long as she has been. Anyway, Chapter 2, Mission. Tirpitz was planning to deliver old equipment to Ubari at the research department. As I thought, it's impossible to carry everything in one trip. It'd be better to split this up into multiple trips. You seem troubled. Fear not, for justice is here. The little beavers are here to save the day. That's Charles, isn't it? What? So you wanted to deliver these to Ubari, right? Who might you be? I am Charles Osborne, ally of justice and captain of the Little Beavers. Wait here for a second. I'll go and gather everyone. Little Beavers, assemble! Okay, I'm here. Did something happen? Oh, poor Spence. Spence needs a hug. She needs a hug. Look at that. Someone give her a head pat and a hug. Just stop crying, please. What a pain. Everyone, let's work together and carry all of this to Ubari's research department. Wait, this is the secretary ship's duty. I'm fine doing this on my... As if to cut Tirpitz off, the members of the Little Beavers quickly lifted the equipment onto a trolley and departed. Tirpitz, who was carrying equipment alongside them, seemed to be thinking about something. I guess she's just not used to being around others. I guess that would make her... Well, I'm around others or having others to kind of help her do stuff. Makes sense considering her nature, but still. Interesting to think about. Anyway, Port Research Department. With this, justice has been served. Little Beavers, out! I give you my thanks. I shall let the commander know of your help. Hey, no need for something like that. Justice demands no... I always struggle with this word too. God, why is it that I always struggle with so many words? Recompense, I think, is the... I don't actually know how to pronounce it either. I know what it means, but I don't know how to pronounce it. Besides, isn't it obvious that comrades should help each other out? Everyone else does the same. Well, I'll be leaving then. More justice awaits. I'm a comrade. Alright, I get it. She's just not used to it. That's just it. She's just not used to having people around her to help her out. She's so used to doing things on her own, which technically being independent isn't necessarily a bad thing, but knowing when you can have others to help you out with stuff is never a bad thing either. Watching the little beavers until they disappeared, Tirpitz began walking. What is this just... I'm sitting here wondering if this is strictly just built on just how she's so used to being by herself. But... I mean, even her, like, some of her quotes and stuff that she has for her various, like, affection lines actually also kind of give that off to her as well. Like, she's so used to being by herself. Not exactly the best thing to focus on in terms of her overall background, but... I mean, it fits. It makes sense. It's accurate. Anyway, Chapter 3. Practice exercise. Practice exercise. Port exercise area. Today is the day of the Iron Blood joint exercise. But Jesus, okay, bitch. Without battling so much as an eyelid, or without batting so much as an eyelid, Tirpitz aimed to shell perfectly at the target ship that was being controlled by the Manju. Those poor Manju. I hope they have like a little RC boat, because if they're all on the boat when it gets shelled, I don't know how to feel about that. No Manjus were harmed in the making of this exercise. Well done. Thank you. Tirpitz, you sure are amazing. Oh, it's Eugen. My aim is nothing praiseworthy. You and Hipper are also doing quite well, aren't you? My, aren't you modest? Did you hear that, Hipper? You do well to learn from her. Prince, please. Huh? Why should I? Because Tirpitz is that amazing. But look, she's not full of herself at all. Not at all like some blonde attention-seeking student who begs the command and praise her prince. Whoa! Someone call an ambulance and the police, because shots have been fired. Oh my god. And this is part of the reason I actually like Prince. Cause she... Oh man, she makes me laugh more than she really should. Oh boy, here we go. I expect a lot of reeing from the other side on a second here. Knock it off, Eugen. I'm sure Hipper tries in her own. Huh? Well, excuse me for being who I am, Eugen. Do you want me to hit you again? What do you think? Calm Hipper down. Alright, let's calm Hipper, please. Commander, you've got nothing to do with this. Eugen, stay there. Don't run. Today's the day I'll make you understand that I'm the matriarch of the Hipper class. As I look at the two Hipper class run away, I noticed that I can't even finish that line. The joke I was gonna make was something like, as I watched the two of them slowly run away, I noticed that Prince Eugen is actually T-posing as she runs away. While wearing the shades. Oh god. Sisters, huh? In silence, Tirpitz was pondering over something. Tirpitz? Oh yeah, Bismarck. Sorry, without realizing it, I started to wonder if all sisters could become like this. Not all of them. Some are, well, less volatile? Probably. I don't know if that's necessarily the best way to describe the two of them. They're not like that. I don't think all of them are exactly like that. That's just a very unique situation with just how different their personalities are. Tirpitz displayed a somewhat lonely expression. Poor Tirpitz. I mean, her and Bismarck kind of have like similar, like, they're both very, very, very good at holding their ideals and sticking with them. So it's kind of a good thing about them. It's just, I can definitely understand why they do somewhat have some similarities there. I think the situations both of them are in position-wise in their roster is what kind of differentiates them a lot more than usual. Anyway, Chapter 4, Sortie. Location, unspecified sea area. At the place the Sea Patrol fleet that Tirpitz was flagship of was cruising through. Sigh, boring. Another day where nothing happens. It's not a bad thing, you know. Please focus. What are we going to do if the enemy appears right now? It's fine. According to recent observation reports, no enemies have appeared in this area for over 2 weeks. But in the 1 in a million chance, 1 in a million basically means it won't happen, you know. I want this to end quickly so I can go back and go for a run or something. She's not too pleased. We'll be arriving at the turnaround point soon. Please prepare for the return journey. Roger. What is this unsettling premonition I'm getting? I'm getting the enemy readings on my radar. It's a Siren destroyer fleet. Uh-oh, that's not good. With these numbers, I'm not sure that just us destroyers will. I won't let my comrades be injured. The intense bombardment from her main battery continued for a while. Holy cow, what was that? It was support shelling from Tirpitz. Confirmation of enemy fleet's annihilation. Oh, that's good. Well, with this, we're fine, right? Tirpitz, thank you. It wasn't a big deal. Let's report this situation to the commander. Okay. What did I don't know what to think about that extra dialogue at the end there. That was... Huh. I guess I don't fully understand what she's thinking. Anyway, Chapter 5, Everyone's Secretaryship. Okay, I don't know about the Everyone's Secretaryship. I mean, we got 2 skins that are active right now, and Prince Eugen's smile is adorable, and then there's Enterprise racing skin needs to be. Okay. Anyway, port office. As usual, Tirpitz was easily and efficiently handling her secretary duties. Next, organize the observation reports of the sea zones and update the ones the sirens have appeared in. Knock knock. Excuse me for intruding while you're busy. I've left Master and Miss Tirpitz's black tea over here. Thanks for your work. Please don't mention it. If anything, Miss Tirpitz is the one who's always helping me. Excuse me. Well, that's nice of her. If you could update the route that is to be patrolled next time based on the predictions of enemy appearances in the various sea zones. Knock knock. Hello there, Tirpitz. You really saved me last time. Thanks. Here, the newest model air purifier. It's a model that raises work efficiency and promotes good health. I'll leave it here. Thank you. There are still things left unfinished at the research department, so I'll be heading out. Alright. With this, the patrol route should be... and for the personnel... Knock knock, man, she's getting visited by everybody. I'll be coming in. Tirpitz, perfect. The other day I heard that you're interested in bonsai, so I've come today to bring you the gift of bonsai. I took care of this one pretty carefully. If you look at it when you're tired, you'll feel uplifted and recharged in no time. So will this be a good place for it? Sure, that place works. Okay, over here and alright. Well, I'll be out of here before I become a bother. See ya later. Everyone appreciates her work. It's kind of wholesome, actually. Don't you think we've been getting more and more visitors lately? Tirpitz didn't seem to know that she was the reason why more people had been visiting. She didn't seem to realize that she was smiling radiantly in front of everyone. Aww, that's adorable. The Queen's smile. Shall we see it? You know, I think there's like a handful of skins where you actually kind of do see her smile. Most of the time, she's not really. I mean, she's kind of more pensive or just kind of, lost in her own train of thought. But still, like, I guess that would be kind of something nice to see. Then again, okay. seeing every single ship girl smile probably warms somebody up. Don't take that the wrong way. Chapter 6, The Queen's Smile. Port office. After being stuck with more work than usual, Tirpitz ended up working until midnight. I didn't realize that there would be so much work. I should have done a better job at gauging the workload when I was drawing up plans yesterday. Commander, thank you for your hard work. Sorry for making you stick with me for so long. If you're tired, please go ahead and rest. I'll take care of the rest. Tirpitz, there's something different about you. Something different? That I protected the other girls. I was simply doing what I needed to do to maintain my combat power. That I've worried about you? I was only focusing on improving efficiency as a secretary. That I've become able to work well with everyone else in the fleet? That is, the ice around you has melted. That's a very interesting way to put that, actually. She's not coming off cold. Yeah, that is very true. That's a good point, because like at the beginning, the commander kind of notes like it feels like a bit distant or cold, and now it's different. I find the way they talk about that there, or they use the whole like ice is melted around you bit is kind of interesting. Tirpitz displayed a rare moment of surprise on her face, and then she said, "The ice has melted, huh?" Indeed. It might just have. I haven't forgotten yet. That's right. If I had been pushing the comrades around me away with a shell of ice, I suppose saying that the ice has melted describes it well. For so long, all I knew was coldness and loneliness, to the point where I thought I had long forgotten the warmth that comes from others. But, Commander, thank you for reminding me. Tirpitz smiled warmly. This is where I wish I had CGs. I wish we had CGs for this. Aw. As I thought, a smile fits her the best. Can we see it? Can we please see it? Oh. It might be uncharacteristic, but still. It's always nice to see that thing, please. This is why I really wish they had CGs for their character stories. It would make them so much better. Not that they're not that they're terrible or anything. It's just that having that little extra, like, one CG, I think would really benefit these character stories a bit more and kind of get people to connect more with the character. Not that they need to, but they can. Anyway, Chapter 7, Warmth. After that, some time passed. Port outskirts. Tirpitz invited me to come talk to her. I ended up somewhere up high at the outskirts of the port. Sorry for having you come out to a place like this. The truth is, there's something I wanted to see with you. Tirpitz pointed at something shimmering in the sky. The North Star? Yes, the polar stern. Whenever I look at this star, I'm reminded of my past. That time I was locked down in a port, a fleet in name only. I spent day after day doing nothing, feeling nothing, just simply used to being cold and alone. And then, having achieved nothing of note, I met my end, watching the smoke of despair fill the harbor as I welcomed my destruction. Don't you agree that I had a ridiculous empty life? But now things are different. Now there is the joy of meeting people, and the peace of mind from being with you, and the warmth of it was able to melt away the ice of my past. The lone Queen of the North is alone no longer. I pray that the other me in the mirror, and in my dreams, will be as happy as the me here right now. Other me in the... Oh. Is this a Divergent chessboard reference? Huh. I heard a lot of people talking about how like the storyline had a possibility of being connected to it, but I wasn't too sure. I wonder if this is who she's referring to, because technically there's the theory. So like Divergent Chessboard wasn't in the lore story because it was just so hard to place in the timeline. There was no connections to any of the other events. We don't really know where it is storyline wise in general. So we weren't really sure where it goes. And the one thing that we can definitely say is there's this belief that there was Team Black and Team White, and Team Black was like the copies of the ship girls themselves, though they were a bit more than just a standard clone, because the clones couldn't, they didn't speak or anything in a lot of the events. These ones actually did, which was really, I don't know if that's a sign of the an advancement, if that was a sign of the advancement or anything, or if that was just like the fruit of the Siren research or something. I'm not exactly sure, but basically there's the idea that Team Black was like these clones, and then Team White was like Commander's actual team. So what that meant was that Tirpitz on Team White met Tirpitz on Team Black, and that's what I'm thinking this is referring to, which is really cool. But it's still, I still kind of wish Divergent Chessboard had a connection, because I'm still not really sure where it goes. It was an interesting, well, somewhat interesting story, but it didn't get us anywhere with like going into the lore of things. Like, well, I guess it kind of did a little bit, but not much. This is kind of why, like, this is kind of where like the thing about Divergent Chessboard went, like why it wasn't in the story or anything. That's kind of why. It's just too many questions, too many unknowns, and that's why I kind of wish there was a bit more clarity with it, but there's not much we can really do about it. Seeing this, though, if this is actually a reference to Divergent Chessboard or Opposite Colored, that's really actually kind of cool, because it's not the first time this has happened, because technically Akagi's storyline also had that as well. I hope so. I hope this is the case, because that's actually really cool. I think I'm a little tired. I feel the weight of her resting against my shoulder. Say, would you mind if I pull up closer to you? I think every single, Ironblood main just screamed yes at the top of their lungs. I want to feel your warmth for a little bit longer. Tirpitz's warm voice, almost in a whisper, filled your ears. I hope she stays this gentle, now and forever. That wasn't too bad of a story. It didn't really, I think the thing about it is it doesn't really, hit as hard as, some of the others did. I guess because, Boise has this whole thing about it, it makes you curious about it. Whereas Tirpitz's whole story kind of was built around her being kind of in isolation, how she kind of was very cold from it. It's not a bad, it is kind of a consequence of her, history. And then this secretary quest kind of making her soften up a little bit, or I guess not really soften up, warm up to others, getting more familiar with being around people. It's kind of a positive for her. I guess it's definitely a good thing, and I'm glad she didn't really take it anything weird or anything, freak out over it. I guess she wasn't used to it for the first, I think, 1 or 2 stories. But still, it was a nice little touch to see. I think it was definitely helpful for her to kind of warm up to people like that. It kind of reminds me of one of her oath lines. I think she has an oath line that specifically says something along the lines of the Lone Queen of the North is alone no longer. You guys can probably tell I've got her oath by the hearts flying everywhere. So, but yeah, I think it was an interesting story. Not as like heavy hitting or emotional as a lot of the others. It was just kind of like it revealed a cuter side to her, but not like going nuts into it. Anyway, overall, pretty decent story. Definitely a decent story. I'm hoping that is a reference to Divergent Chessboard or Opposite Colored, because it has two names. I should probably say that. I don't know how many times I just said Divergent Chessboard, because I'm so used to that being what it's called, but I know it's got two names. But I hope that is a reference to it, because that would be really cool. Anyway, that is going to be all for Tirpitz's video. Let me know who you guys would like me to cover next storyline-wise in the comments below. I'll keep an eye out for it. I don't think I actually know who's coming up next, so I need to actually see. I'll be paying attention to the comments in this one. So anyway, that'll be all for now. Hope you guys did enjoy this particular video, and I will be continuing to release content as the next week unfolds, hopefully at a bit more controlled, well, not controlled, a bit more consistent. That's probably the word I'm looking for. A bit more of a consistent schedule on releasing. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys all again real soon.